How's it going, everyone? Surprise, surprise, sometimes you hear and see a game announcements that has taken you completely by surprise. You weren't expecting it, and in this case, a brand new IP coming from EA of all people, and one that honestly has me pretty excited. I'd heard about this announcement coming yesterday that it was going to be announced today and revealed today, and that is Immortals of Aveum. Now, we have gotten a trailer for the game. We have a release date, which, if you have been watching my channel, you know how I have been just begging for some devs and publishers to announce a game with a release date that isn't 3 billion years away, and guess what? They've actually done that with this game. It's a new IP. It looks really good. I have some reservations about some small aspects of the game, but overall, I am really liking what I am seeing. Now, we only have like a 3-minute trailer, and there are some blog posts and things like that. The PlayStation blog has an in-depth post that I will look at in just a second, but an overview from EA. Again, this is a brand new IP, and by the way, this is a part of the EA Originals program, so this is the same program that brought out Wild Hearts earlier this year. Immortals of Aveum is being developed by Ascendant Studio, an independent AAA team led by Brett Robbins, creative director of Dead Space and Call of Duty, and published by EA Originals. So there's a new program that hopefully is going to lead to EA cultivating the creation of a lot of compelling new IP. So Immortals of Aveum is a single-player first-person magic shooter that tells the story of Jack as he joins an elite order of battle mages to save the world on the edge of Abyss. With legions of soldiers on both sides of the Everwar, he must uncover the mysteries of Aveum's troubled past if there's any hope for saving its future. Master 3 forces of magic and unleash spells with deadly skill in a game that defies first-person shooter conventions. Be the battle mage, join the Order of Immortals, the champion protectors of Lucium, and become Jack an elite Triarch Magnus. Master your magic fast, fluid, first-person spell-based combat that's easy to learn and satisfying to master, where players are rewarded for clever chain attacks and well-timed counters. Unleash your arsenal of spells, unlock and upgrade more than 25 spells and 80 talents, discover, upgrade, and craft hundreds of pieces of magical gear to synergize your playstyle across all forces of magic. Save a world on the edge of the Abyss. Jack and Lucium's elite immortals must race to uncover the mysteries of Aveum's past if there's any hope for saving its future. Now, again, we have the official reveal trailer. It's just about 3 minutes at length. Visually, it looks great, and this is a true next-generation only title. Like, I could not imagine that this game could be on PS4 and Xbox One, just because a lot of the magic effects from a particle effect standpoint, environmental effects, things like that, those elements, I think, look really, really good. And from a detail standpoint, looks incredible from that standpoint as well. It should be noted that as an EA title, this will be a full $70 game, so I do have some reservations about that. I just don't know how a brand new IP that is, like, at the end of the day, a game like this, I feel like it's gonna go a little under the radar, but who knows? Sometimes a new IP can just come out, it can really resonate at a high level based on word of mouth and people just talking about how great it is, and that could be the case for this. I just look at that $70 price tag, and I think that's just gonna make people very, very wary, especially if you have realized with EA games recently, when you look at a game like Need for Speed Unbound, when you look at, even the Dead Space remake, Wild Hearts recently, these games go on sale very, very quickly, so I don't know how many people are going to be willing to drop 70 bucks right off the gate. What I do think is going to help this game, however, is it's coming in the heat of the summer, July 20th. If you are familiar with that time period, generally speaking, there are not a lot of games coming out during that summer period. June, July, August, I know this year you've got Final Fantasy 16, you've got, Immortals of Aveum now, but generally speaking, that period is much quieter in terms of big game releases than, let's say, a fall, which earlier in the year you saw releases like the Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4, Hogwarts Legacy, and that's just to name a few, come out all in the beginning portion of the year. I don't think it's going to have that issue come the summer period, and it does have a very unique fantasy setting, and a fantasy setting with this first-person style of gameplay. I think that could be incredibly compelling as well. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how it turns out, and it was noted by Robbins, basically, they're like the Navy SEALs of our wizarding world as far as the characters in the game. They're taking on the forces of Rasharn, but human soldiers are far from the only threat they'll face. Elementals, magically animated constructs, and terrifyingly resilient archons, but some of the most memorable encounters will be battles against other expert spell slingers, according to Robbins. When you have a wizard on wizard battle, that's when things get really crazy. So you have this wizard style to it, but you've also got this interesting visual style and interesting setting. It's a very unique game from a premise standpoint, and, originality is something that I can definitely give bonus points to, and we'll just see how it turns out. It's a new IP, but I could see this one just being the fact that it is so different from everything else coming out. I do foresee it having a lot of attention from that standpoint. I don't know if that's gonna be something that resonates outside of just that, you know, hardcore gaming bubble, because when a game has this many resources put behind it, it's a $70 title, it's a big budget game, you do need to get outside just that hardcore bubble that, you know, people that are watching my videos are probably more so a part of that bubble. I don't know if this is a game that everybody's gonna be looking to pick up day one, come July 20th, but also it's a game that, you know, this is coming out at the end of July. Before you know it, it'll be September, October. That's the holiday period where a lot of games are coming out, but also a lot of sales and whatnot are going to be running as well. So I could foresee this game going on sale for like $35 by the end of the year. Like, again, you look at EA titles in the past, and I hate that a game is being announced and I'm already talking about, well, you can wait a little bit and get it for a little bit cheaper. But really, from my vantage point, it's like the $70 always does worry me. And I cover video games, so obviously I'm going to be playing it, but I like to look at it from the lens of like everybody else that, you know, when you look at a $70 price tag, it is going to be something that is going to make people think a little bit more. But from a premise standpoint, I think the game looks great. The gameplay, I think, looks absolutely fast-paced. It looks incredibly enjoyable. Hopefully, it is going to have a level of depth to it that'll keep it engaging the whole way through. I am curious to see. It is a single-player title, single-player first-person action-based title, and I am interested to know how lengthy the game is going to be. I hope they don't go the route of just making it overly lengthy just for the sake of it having a lot of content. I know that there is that thought process of, well, you're spending $70, you should be getting X amount of hours of gameplay out of it, but I think if you develop with that in the back of your head, that's just gonna lead you to adding content that shouldn't be in the game just to pad hours into the game, and I don't think that's how you should go about it. If you want to price games at $70, and that's an EA decision, price it at $70, but don't let that affect the overall development of the game and add things that don't need to be there just for the sake of saying, hey, you're spending $70, but you're gonna get 30-40 hours of gameplay. No, if this game can be a succinct 10 to 15 hour experience, make it a 10 to 15 hour experience, and I think that'll be a breath of fresh air. And, you know, games like Dead Space Remake, obviously that was a remake of an iconic game, but that was $70, and it's not a super lengthy game, and it did just fine. And if Immortals of Aveum can come out and it's a quality 10 to 15 hour game, and I'm just saying that from a hypothetical standpoint, who knows, maybe they are going to go for a lengthier experience, but I just hope it's something where there's not padded out content for the sake of there being padded out content. If you want it to be replayable, absolutely, but sometimes a shorter single player experience is something I can be all over. But that's gonna do it for me. Definitely let me know what you guys think of the game. Looks like a very, very unique fantasy first-person magic shooter, something that looks right up my alley. I'm excited for it. It will be out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. Again, no last generation release. We're really, this year, moving on to next generation, and I'm excited for that aspect as well. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.